Welcome everybody to today's 1 Million by 1 Million Strategy Roundtable for Entrepreneurs. As you know, the mission of the 1 Million by 1 Million program is to help 1 million entrepreneurs reach $1 million in annual revenue and beyond. And it's a global program. We normally have people from all over the world. And normally we follow the format of entrepreneurs pitching me, and the entire session is my working with up to 5 entrepreneurs. Today, however, we're going to follow a slightly different format, and we have the session divided into 3 segments. In the first segment, I'm going to work with Ankit, who is a premium member and has a business that he's going to discuss with me, and we're going to follow our regular roundtable format. And then we're going to go to a second segment where we're going to deal with a topic on lead generation. And this is actually a scenario that I want us all to work on together. And this is a scenario from one of the premium members around lead generation. And the reason I've put this on the agenda today is because it's a style of scenario which many of you are facing. And I want to work together on this scenario so that we can all learn from it and brainstorm about a topic that is kind of important for many of us. And then we're going to do so that's going to be an interactive session. My group chat will be open, so we're going to discuss that, including audience participation. And then there's going to be a third segment, which is the one that we advertised, which is Silicon Valley the Next Decade. I gave you a blog piece to kind of read before the session, and we're going to, again, do an interactive session on Silicon Valley the Next Decade. And this is, Silicon Valley the Next Decade is the title, but we're going to talk about trends in general, so it will apply to all the geographies that are represented here in the room. So you're going to get interesting ideas to take away from that, I hope, based on that discussion. Again, it's going to be an interactive discussion, so my group chat is also going to be open at that point. So it's a slightly different format, and let me know after you've listened to today's roundtables and participated in it, how you like this format, because I'm kind of bringing in a slightly different nuances to the show. Okay, so Ankit, you need to unmute yourself and come online. Meanwhile, folks, anybody who's tweeting the show, please use the hashtag 1M1M. A lot of people tweet the show, and we encourage you to tweet the show. Please use the hashtag 1M1M so that you can get adequate retweeting and so forth. And Ankit is going to tell us about his new venture or existing venture, and we'll work on his project right now.
Well, first of all, thank you so much for allowing me to speak on this. Now, just kind of go through the major points of this. This slide obviously talks about who I am and what the company is. Okay. The company I currently run is a real estate investment fund. We are geared towards the 1 to 6 unit asset market in the northern New Jersey and the New York markets. We've been now in business for about 3 years. We manage a multi-million-dollar fund. What we basically noticed when we did this is that there's a whole evolution of customers that exist now who want to invest in real estate because they know it's really cheap but don't know how to do it. So what I'm talking about today is one of the new consulting arms that we're developing to bring a value-added consulting business into the real estate market that doesn't really exist in the 1 to 6 unit space.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
So do I control the content?
No, I'll move the slides. You just tell me when you want them moved.
Great. So the product that we're creating, we came up with a name called IReAdvisors. It bases on innovative, revolutionary, and educational. Those are our 3 pillars to whenever we have done business and whatever we've created as RER. The concept that we provide is it's a turnkey passive investing service in New Jersey, whereby you control the money as an investor, but you can call the shots and you have a well-developed with a great track record team at your side really helping you out. Next slide.
So it's a consulting service.
It's a consulting service product that we're trying to create. Yes.
Okay.
our target customers, there are individuals that who want to be, what I call them, I guess, is want-to-be investors. Mm-hmm. They're individuals who go to the investment club meetings. They're the individuals who look at the late-night TV shows and want to buy those products and really want to get into real estate. And they know about their friends or other investors buying great deals at this time, but they are held back for either a fear of the unknown or actually taking that first step, or the lack of time and knowledge that's holding them back. So that's our target customer, and I'll go into segmentation a little bit later.
Okay.
What we provide as value, and which is where we'll truly be unique to what exists in our market space right now, when an investor wants to buy a property or an investment, what's the typical scenario? Well, you go to a realtor, or you go on Craigslist, or you go to Realty Track, and you try to find a real estate deal, and then you have to figure really it out yourself unless you know real estate. And a lot of the individuals who are buying right now, the statistics that came out recently, nearly 45% of all real estate sales in the United States were through distressed all-cash investors. Mm-hmm. So there's a big growth of market, and given the fact that there's a great amount of inventory that exists, the proposition that we wanted to bring in our product offering was getting access to unique off-market deals and inside track deals. Mm-hmm. We're able to provide that because we've been in the business for a very long time, and we have the sources. Our incentives are actually aligned with the investor, unlike a realtor whose incentive is to make a commission. Our incentive is that we want to make sure that your deal is a good deal for you, and it hits a certain return benchmark, which is what we base our fees off of. Okay. Risk reduction. Well, if you do it yourself, you really may or may not know how to do it. So we actually bring our full service and our entire investment team to the table at a very affordable price point.
And what is the price point?
The price point that we have right now in beta testing at $750 a month, and we get a 10% return on the net profits if we hit a 15% ROI benchmark.
And in what time frame?
The time frame is that on our average investments have been between 6 to 8 months. Now, it depends on the investor. Some investors want to buy an asset and really hold the asset. So what we'll do is we'll do the work at our fixed fee, and they're going to take it in, and we'll fix it up, we'll tenant it up, and then basically give them the asset at that point.
Okay.
And we'll be out of the picture. Or if the investor wants to do a full cycle of, hey, I want to buy a deal, I want to flip a deal, that's really where our specialty comes into place. And we take it, we do all the efforts and work like a small hedge fund for what we've done for our private equity clients already in the fund, and we're now bringing it to mainstream market.
Okay.
So the two customers that we really see this product working for is small business owners and W-2 finance wage earners. From a small business owner's perspective, we're talking about self-employed people who are interested in real estate, who have no real alternative source of income, so they're really depending on that business to bring in the income. So that creates a need. They want the alternative source of income or some other mechanism of buffering in case their business does go down. The want that we've had, that one of our beta testing clients has shown, is that they really want to have that name brand of, oh, I really invested in real estate, and I made money in real estate. Along with that, the want that comes up on their side as well is spend more time with the family, because they're usually working 6-7 days a week. And we're talking, dollar store owners, we're talking, the gas station owners. Those are the individual liquor store owners. That's one segment. The second segment is W-2 wage earners who are in the finance industry or accounting or Wall Street. Typically male who've been at least in the have been at least working for 10 years. That means they're earning above $150,000 to $300,000 price bracket and have an understanding of risk. Why would they want to? What their needs are that we're trying to satisfy with our product is diversify income stream as well, invest into an alternative asset class for diversification, and the same wants pretty much parallel each other. Beyond that, another want that they have that was really not highlighted there, and we recently actually came across, is the need for tax deductions, which real estate becomes a great vehicle for them.
Now,
so those are two market segments within our customer segments that we're going after.
How much validation have you done on the two segments?
Sure. Actually, that's on the next slide.
Okay.
Okay. One slide back.
You can go ahead and do the slide, and we'll get...
Sure. The validation work that we've done thus far on these customers basically has been that we research the market, we research the market size for all cash purchases. Beyond that, we have had a focus group with all the investors. So basically, when we started as a company as RER, we got money from a lot of smaller investors who were in the finance field, who were in the fields of accounting, and we brought them into the focus group with them and said, okay, instead of giving us money, what would you think if this was the case? And they had a really positive reaction because it's cheaper than hiring a firm such as us and giving us like blind capital because they still retain control. That's one aspect to it. Second is we are currently running this program with 2 beta clients, one who's a small business owner who owns a dollar store, who was a former cash, who used to give us the cash and we used to invest it for him. He liked it because it was cheaper and he understands the risk. And the second individual whose flip we just actually finished was in risks in New York City's Wall Street hedge fund world. And he had a positive reaction to it. The only aspect that's still, I guess, one of the questions that I have at the end that can be answered is really creating a better pricing model that's really acceptable across the table. Because the betas that we tested them on, obviously we had a pre-existing relationship with them.
Right. Right. And also, I'd like to see a bit more of a statistically significant number in terms of, people who are new people who are not familiar with you. They don't have a trusted relationship with you. How are they reacting to the value proposition? That's one question. The second question that comes to my mind looking at your channels is, what about the wealth managers?
The real estate wealth basically wealth asset managers.
Yeah.
That's somebody that we are considering approaching, but I don't know if they would be, because it's not completely the product offering on this is that you will retain control of an investment as an individual to a certain extent. And the way wealth managers typically work is, well, they take the money and then they parlay it forward into sub-funds. So in the case of the fund world, yeah, we have some wealth managers who invest with us. But in the case of an IRE product advisory consulting offering, I'm not sure if that would or would not work, because then what would happen is when we get a deal, we're not completely just doing the deal. We're actually working with clients who want to do deals and saying, okay, you're in the driver's seat in terms of all the decisions, and wear your arm out there. They're going to protect you from the risks because we know what to do, because we've done it really well. And beyond that is that we're truly working in your interest, unlike somebody who wants to make a commission. Our thing is fee generated. We are completely neutral, and we're going to tell you whether it's a good deal or a bad deal.
Well,
I don't know.
I'll just give you one.
Would not work for that.
I'll just give you one perspective. The reason I think it's worth checking is that, my financial advisor is at, we were at Merrill Lynch. Now she has moved to Morgan Stanley, so we've moved our account to Morgan Stanley as well. And she often actually refers experts to us.
Okay.
So I think where they don't have, if the client expresses interest in investing in real estate, they will basically ask the wealth manager to go and research how to do that.
Okay.
And these wealth managers, I think, maintain an army of experts that they refer to situations like that. And I think there is a possibility that you can be part of the expertise group of wealth managers.
Oh, that'd be great. All right. Great. Okay.
So I would look into that category. I would definitely, at least I would validate that category. I would test that category and validate that category.
Okay.
Now, how big is the investment club association and investment club segment in? I assume you're trying
to do New Jersey market.
Are you trying to do this in New Jersey, New York, or?
Yeah, we're basically we're rolling out the product in New Jersey. We're doing a niche market focus. So if we go to the next slide, actually.
Okay.
So our focus predominantly that's how we've done our entire business model is we didn't gross up, really. We wanted to be really great experts in the 1 to 6 unit market in a certain geographic location to begin with.
Yeah.
Because the information dynamic is so inefficient when it comes to real estate, and it's so heterogeneous when it comes from one asset to another asset, that we saw a really good value proposition for people who wanted to invest in this asset class but didn't have a REIS or a CoStar to go to who could help them out.
Yeah.
So our focus on this product is the New Jersey market, and the starting point that we started was really 2 counties in Passaic and Essex County. Reason being is there's a plethora of investable projects in these areas. Given our own track record of putting dollars in these counties ourselves. I mean, we've put last year about $8 million worth of deals in these counties.
Okay.
So just looking at that market, since Jan 1st till actually May, there were $18 million of all cash real estate purchases across just 4 towns in these counties, which are truly the investable towns that we're targeting.
Yeah.
Last year, there was almost $100 million of all cash real estate sales. The investment clubs in New Jersey are about 15 active investment clubs, and the big 5 have a membership base ranging from 1,500 members to about 2,500 members.
And when you go to do a focus group with a club like that, or go to speak to a club like that, what is the format? Do you just speak at a dinner session or something like that, or do you have the opportunity to actually work with the investment club and identify a real focus group and do a focus group seriously?
So the way it really works is the investment clubs are a proxy in the sense of they are a organization whereby you can go on and start, pitching to a certain extent because they're educational, but they're also trying to make money on the same time. So what happens is you would go on as a platform speaker and you would speak to the market, which is the educational aspect to it, and then you would talk about a innovative product such as the IReAdvisors service in my case, because what happens right now in these kind of clubs is people are coming to sell them books, courses, seminars, and what we're offering them is something totally unique, totally different. On an average, just to kind of give an idea, a consulting or a mentorship or a coaching, which involves no real estate investing, really just the knowledge of it, can run somebody $15,000 to $50,000 that they can get sold into typically. So from our side is we are talking to these investment clubs and going in front of them and presenting it to really validate ourselves as experts further in this market. In the sense of focus groups with them, that was not what we've done. We've done it with past investors who've invested with us.
I see. What I'm saying, Ankit, is that I would like a little bit of a neutral perspective of people who have not or who don't already have a trusted relationship with you.
So how can we accomplish that? What would be your suggestions?
Why don't you go talk to some of these investment clubs and see if they would let you kind of test this, because here's the idea. The investment clubs are membership organizations, right?
Yep.
People pay a membership fee to become part of that organization. So what if you told the investment clubs, the managers or whoever is in charge of memberships,
right?
What if you tell them that, once I would like to offer this product and I would offer you a discount to people who become members of your club. And if you would let me, if you help me build this product, I would let you also benefit from it, because, the beauty of a membership-based organization always is that there are perks to a membership, right? It's like a country club membership. There are access to blah, 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 golf course or swimming pool, whatever. In this case, and in the investment club, the perks would be access to specialized services at a discount or specialized expertise at a discount. So if you position it like that and have that conversation and see what they're willing to do to help you, flush this out, my guess is they'll probably respond to you positively.
Okay, that's a great idea. Okay.
It's basically enhancing their portfolio of services,
Yeah, no, I think that's a really unique idea in the sense of that, so it can really add value to it. No, that's a great idea. Thank you.
Okay.
Okay.
Any other
beyond that? I just had a few, I guess, questions.
Yeah.
If someone is trying to ascertain a true market size such as this, right, and in the sense of I can proxy a number by saying, okay, there's been, $12 million of all cash real estate purchases. How does one create a true market size calculation for people who may want to get involved but are not yet involved?
Okay. So I assume since you're a premium member, you've looked at the market sizing module of the curriculum?
Which one?
The market sizing module. In the curriculum, there's a module on market sizing.
Yes, I remember seeing that. Yeah, I remember going through that. Yep.
So so use those principles. I'll just, for your particular market, let me give you a few pointers, and you can then apply the mechanics that I've covered in the curriculum to it.
Okay.
So in your case, one of the things you're trying to ascertain is, how many small business owners, what percentage of the small business owner market actually invest in real estate. So you're going to need to find some sort of a proxy for that number, and you're going to need to look in the real estate information services to find that number. In terms of how many small businesses are out there, that information is available in the SBA directory.
Right.
Then you have to ascertain what percentage of that is actually investing in real estate. There's a company called My Corporation that I did a case study on recently, that actually incorporates investors who are specifically creating corporations or limited liability companies or whatever, investment corporations basically, to do this kind of investment. And so you could contact them and see if they would share some numbers with you, to tell them that I can even connect you with them. So you need to get an assessment of how many small business owners are there who are likely to invest in this kind of activity. There may be you should go read that case study, the My Corporation case study. There may even be a channel relationship of some sort that you can do with them, potentially. And I will make the connection when you're ready.
Thank you.
And on the other side, whether it's investment clubs or wealth managers, where you're trying to assess the individual investor, again, what percentage of the consumer population actually has assets at a certain category, and what percentage of them actually invest, and at what level. That's one number you need. Now then, for all of these numbers, how many small business owners, how many individual investors are interested in investing in real estate, based on that, you need to apply your pricing model and assumptions on, okay, how much are they going to pay? How many months are they paying for? What kind of amount are they investing? And what is the, percentage, what is the upside sharing revenue based on that? So you create a financial model using all these variables. And this is basically the way to calculate a bottoms-up TAM analysis. Total available market analysis. So you need to create kind of the total available market, and then obviously you're not going to cover the entire market. You're going to cover pieces of it. So you need to make a market share assumptions and penetration assumptions, and that will give you a sense of how you can grow the business, over time.
That's great. Thank you.
So
I guess there's one more you're not answering.
Sorry, just one thing.
I'm sorry, one more time.
I was going to say that once you've created the model, you're welcome to come and share it with me, and I can give you comments on it.
Oh, that'd be great. Thank you. Anything, I guess the last question is something that I wanted to see, given that your background and given that you really look at a lot of technologically forward-moving companies and really discuss this. Is there any crowdsourcing business principles or Web 2 or 3.0 that can be implemented into the product to make this more unique, better in any manner that you can think of the top of your head?
Most certainly. Did you go through the Web 3.0 and e-commerce module in the curriculum?
No, I have not gone through that yet. Well, no.
So my first suggestion is, why don't you go through that module so that you have it's going to take you some time because there's a lot of great case studies. So I want you to understand that module in depth, because there's a lot of things you can do in these kinds of advisory services businesses where by using those principles. So yes, the answer is yes. And why don't you go through the module and then let's have a discussion. Why don't you try to put together what ideas you gather based on that framework and that module, and then we can have further discussions. Most certainly, the answer is yes.
That's great. Okay, thank you so much. Then I'll definitely get that done.
Okay, very good. Any other questions? So I'm going to actually open the group chat and see if people have, because we are following a slightly different format. Anybody has comments or questions about Ankit's business that you want to share in the group chat?
I guess Jeffrey had a question. That was at 11:13.
Jeffrey had a question, yeah? I may not have heard because of low volume. Do the customers own 100% of underlying property or a fractional interest of underlying property or an interest in a real property holding company? You want to take that, Ankit?
Sure. Actually, they own the entire asset. They have a fee simple ownership. We're just their consultants and their arm to help them get through the traversial real estate road or the real estate mountain to get on the other side and make sure it's a profitable investment, if it's a flip for them or if it's a buy and hold strategy for them.
Okay.
But yes, they own their asset. That's their asset.
Good. All right, so this segment, I'm going to end this segment and let's close this slideshow and we're going to move to